This isn't just another podcast. We're crushing the taboos and we're rewriting the rules. It's the space where we normalize women becoming wealthy. If you're done playing small and ready to become the CEO of your life and the architect of your future, then my girl, you're in the right room. Welcome to your wealthy era. Welcome to the Wellthy CEO podcast.
Hello, my dear friend. It feels so good to be back in studio today, marking a very special episode that I'm going to unpack with you. If you've been following me on my journey for a little bit, especially on Instagram, then you know that I had a beautiful daughter who was born in December of 2024. And so there's been this little pause that's happened on the podcast. And I'm excited that today I am relaunching, but this isn't just any episode. This is marking a powerful shift and a whole new chapter for me. And I'm inviting you to join in, come for the ride, and have a seat at this table. If you've been tuning in for a little bit, then you know that my podcast was called The Freedom CEO. It is a show that has always been rooted in self-leadership, owning your life, and also claiming your power so that you can live a life of freedom. During my last trimester of my pregnancy in 2024, I needed to take some things off of my plate. As you can imagine, pregnancy is a lot, and leading up to the last months, some things had to go so that I could focus on myself a little bit more. But I could also feel that there was this shift taking place in me. I could feel that there was an evolvement happening. And rather than just continue to put out episodes, I wanted to pause to gain clarity on what this nudge happening in me was really all about. Over the past few years, I've expanded into completely new, different realms. I ended a relationship that was no longer in alignment with me, and I moved to Costa Rica in 2021. I bought a couple properties down there. I started selling real estate in Costa Rica and also in Mexico. I started spending more time in Mexico. I actually got my permanent residency there. And so just all in all, there was so much change that was happening. And of course, naturally, growth happens when you have changes happening. And so similar to these explosive changes that were taking place, I could feel something similar in my last trimester around my pregnancy, that there's another growth that was happening, that was birthing, if you will. And of course, I was becoming a mother. There's huge growth just in that. And I am actually really excited in another episode. I'm going to share and unpack just how motherhood is going for me and the transition into motherhood, being in business, an entrepreneur, as a female, trying to do it all. And so I knew, of course, there's going to be growth and challenges that are going to come with it. And at the same time, I really took in I sat with what was actually taking place within my body, the sacredness that it is to be pregnant, the miracle that is growing inside of me, and the life force that is unfolding within my womb. And I started to ask questions, right? Like, how do I want to step into motherhood and also be a woman in business? And as I was sitting with these questions and, taking time to go inward, this is where I could feel it brewing, this change. And I'm not sure if you can relate, but have you ever reached a point when the life you've built starts to feel too small? Like you get this inner nudge. There's like a whisper that says, Shae, this isn't it. It's that moment that you start to look around going, I know I'm made for more. And everything that I am here on this planet to do is requiring me to level up. And this moment continued to find me during my pregnancy, leading up to my 40th birthday. And so, like I shared with you, I paused, I got still, I looked up, and I turned inward. And I listened. I asked, what am I no longer available for? What gets to come with me into this next chapter, and what doesn't? And I asked what was next in my evolution, stepping into motherhood and also still being a woman in business? How am I going to show up and serve? And it was in this deep reflection time where the next evolution of my podcast was calling. And the name I want to share with you today, as you already know, is called the Wellthy CEO. And it was in this deep reflection time that the Wellthy CEO was born. This isn't just a rebrand for me. It's truly a deeper mission for me on every level. The Wellthy CEO, it is a place where women can feel at home, to come as they are, become equipped with empowerment. It's a place where mediocrity and playing small is left at the door, and a place where women share their knowledge, the tools, and strategies to create true wealth. And not wealth the way that you typically would spell it, but wealth, Wellth. This is where financial freedom and holistic wellness intersect. This is a place where women become wealthy. And my friend, my girl, I am building a table for women who want a seat at leading their lives, creating wealth, and becoming the architect of their future. The Wellthy CEO isn't just a name. It is a new standard for women. So you might ask, who's the Wellthy CEO really for? She's the woman who knows what she's meant for and she's ready to build it. She's done with the hustle trap and playing small. She's balancing wellness and wealth and refusing to sacrifice one for the other. She wants sovereignty over her time, her money, and her health. And she's ready to be an owner and an investor over her own life, but also truly in business, understanding money, how to make it work for you, for understanding the language of money and holding space to be able to hold and receive money. And this is like not just money tangible, like your investments, assets. You're wanting to build generational wealth so that you can pass it down to your own loved ones, to build a legacy, something that is here to survive you. And if any of that resonates, if that's you, this podcast is your space to grow, to stretch, and become wildly wealthy. So I want to share with you a little bit what's coming inside the Wellthy CEO podcast. Girl, we are going to be having unfiltered conversations around money, investing, real estate, business, and self-leadership. And I just want to go on a sidebar for a moment because really let this sink in. It is time for women to become unapologetic about wanting to build wealth and being able to go and build wealth and really making money in every area. Men are always talking about their investment stocks, how much they just lost, who their portfolio manager is, what's the best tax strategy, sheltering tax. All of these things men are very comfortable speaking about, whether it's in the locker room, and the change rooms, at the gym, having their happy hour drinks at the bar, if they're in a cigar lounge. Men, this is just normal for them. And we, as a society, not just women, but society has never given women permission. We've been shamed. It's not been normalized. Of course, all of us as females share this commonality that our ancestry of females, of women, we weren't the working ones typically, right? Like men worked, they provided, and women were the caretakers and stayed home. And over the last 30 years, 40, 50 years, we have seen this evolvement. And yet, as things have evolved for women, the education component, the understanding component has not really evolved with it and not kept up with it. And so many women feel very shameful that they should be somewhere that they're not, or that maybe they don't understand what they're listening to or what they're hearing. And even just women that I know in business that have businesses. But when you start talking about leverage and you start talking about debt, when you start even bringing in how to manage it all, talking about their own physical health, their mental health, their complete wellness, it's not it's not a conversation that's been normalized for women. And I want to break that. It is really time that we normalize these conversations. And this is why I'm saying unapologetically, we're going to be having these conversations. No matter where you're at, I want women to walk away from episodes feeling so empowered and that they have tangible tools in order to go move the needles in their life, in their business, in their relationships. And I want to let you in on a little secret. Money loves attention. And so it's time for you to start paying attention to money and realizing that money is sexy and wants you. That is also a whole other episode on its own. And I don't want to go too much on a tangent on that today, but I wanted to just share that with you. So, okay, let me go back to it a bit. I was sharing with you, what else can you expect from this podcast moving forward? I'm going to be bringing on guests, of course, that are amazing, badass founders, investors, and also thought leaders in all of these different areas. Of course, you will get solo drops from me, and I'm going to be giving you tools, mindset shifts, and strategies that actually will help you to move the needle in your life and also in your business. And then, like, real talk, we're going to get raw on feminine self-leadership, lifestyle design, what is your human design, all of these different elements, but learning how to design with intention a life that we love so that you can become wealthy in every sense of the word. And so this podcast is going to be your wealthy activation. If you have been here since day one, then thank you. Thank you for being here. I see you, I honor you, and I'm so glad you're here for this next chapter. And if you're new, my friend, welcome home. This is your room and you belong here. If something in today's episode landed for you, DM me. I would love to hear what's resonating, even what's lighting you up right now. And I'd also love to hear, what do you want to learn about? What topics do you want to see covered? How can this podcast serve you better? And of course, if you know a woman who needs to be in this room, send her this episode. Let her know there's a seat for her at this table. This is the Wellthy CEO. Welcome to the era where we build differently, we're building wealth, and we're building something to last. And trust me, this is just the beginning.
If something in today's episode resonated with you or sparked a shift, tag me on IG or send me a DM. I genuinely love hearing what lands for you. And if it spoke to you, share it or leave a quick review. It helps more women find this show and step into their own wealthy era. Until next time, lead with purpose, live with intention, and stay wealthy.